It's War Dragon time! RPW here with another video to the Beginner's Guide to War Dragon series, and welcome if you're new to my channel. So in today's video, we're going to go over the basics of XP for your dragons. It's all the things you need to know about XP. So some players don't really understand what XP is and what you do to get it. So for the purpose of this video, let's go ahead and pull out some dragons that need to be built up to the breedable level. Now, if you don't know what that means, it means that if your dragon is not at its breedable level, then it's not going to be able to breed another dragon. And the way to know if a dragon is breedable is it will actually have a little check mark on an egg in the top right corner of that dragon down here in your roster. For example, Durga here is a level 4, and he does not have a check mark. So he needs XP to be built up on him. Now, on the contrary, if I go over here to Cerebus, he actually is to breedable level according to the check mark at the top, where Durga is not. Now, Durga has some XP already on him. He's got 89.55k of 44.59k needed to upgrade him to the next level. Now, to give him his training, you simply click train. But let's go over the ways that you can train this dragon or gain XP. Well, one way is to transfer your XP. And you can do this through potions, for example, or you can even do this through rubies, like on the bottom right, 152 rubies, or by using select dragons, like for example, Vladimir will give him 387 for 6. Now, I don't suggest that. Now, as for the potions, this is something you can do. I'm going to do this just to show you that it will give you the XP you need to train your dragon if you have enough. However, you should really save your XP potions for things like feeding events and breeding events. Use them wisely. Now, another way you can get XP is by doing attacks on bases. So for example, right here's a level 45, it'll give me 601 points. And if I scroll on down, the level 50 gives me 705. And generally, as you go higher in level, they will give you more XP. However, the XP is decided by the amount of defense towers and their levels on a base. For example, here's a level 66. I'm sorry, a level 70 with 5,900, and here's a 71 with 4,412. So depending on the base that you take will depend on how much XP you can get. So always pay attention to this number. Because if you look down here in level 81 compared to, for example, the 73 has almost a little over 1,000 points less in XP. And this is what you need to build your dragons. Now, if you're going to have someone larger back you, like I'm going to back myself in this one, my higher level, main account. So I'm going to want to go with something even higher so that they get a little bit better XP. If I take something that's a level 70, then they might get 72 points. Where with this one, they may get closer to around half or a little less as what you are getting. Now, whenever you go into your attack, you're going to notice on your dragons, there's going to be stars on the bottom right of certain dragons. Now, they're going to be on all of your dragons until you have ran them 3 times. The reason is because they're going to give you, for example, on Leos there, a ×5 multiplier. And they're also going to give you, like an example, on the first dragon, a ×4. And then Ember there has a ×3. And then the next dragon has none. Now, the reason is because they're going to give you 3 multipliers every day that you can put to use for your XP. Another thing you can do is actually add an XP boost. There's a 200% and a 100% available for purchase. And you can get these in the chests. Okay, so another thing I want to go over is the more dragons that you take into an attack, the less XP there is to go around. So in this case, I'll get my maximum XP because it's only my 1 dragon and 1 other person. But if I did this by myself and it took all 3 of my dragons to complete it, each dragon would only get about 1/3 of those points, depending on how much of a percentage they take from that base. So really it depends on how much damage they do to the defense towers. So if 1 dragon does 40% of the attack, then they'll get 40%. So this is a great way and a great knowledge to have when it comes to building up your dragons. Now, another way you can do this is with the free XP base. So if I go into free XP and I invite my other account to back me up, they can use an Ember. Now, the great thing is if they use a level 1 Ember, they can generally use theirs over and over without ever having to heal. But the important thing is, as you just saw, you need to swap immediately. And more importantly, do not take out the front farm, because this is how they're going to keep the rage build up and slow down to take down the items behind it. So once that's done, they're going to swap and you will end the attack, because you do not want to split that XP between multiple dragons. This is a great way to maximize your XP a very quick way. However, make sure you check out my video, because there are some bad things about that base as well. Alright, so let's go into something else. You don't necessarily have to lean on other players to back you up on free XP or larger attacks. Another way is to simply join a higher level player. Like right here, I've joined my main, and she's a level 172 taking on a high level base. So I know that if I put in the chat room XP, then she's going to know that I need her to switch or swap at the end so that I can take a little bit myself and get some XP. Now, a lot of times you're going to find that the last few things are farms, and that's not something you're going to be able to take without Ember. And there will be times that you're going to have to take an Ember and not necessarily get the XP that you're wanting. Or maybe not Ember, but something with Death Gaze. So if that happens, just help them out, and I'm sure they'll gladly help you back. Now right here, if you'll notice, I'm going to type it in, XP, because they're going around the turn, and they're going to easily see this on the bottom left-hand corner. Now this means that I need her to swap. Now once she swaps, I'll be able to go in and take the last bite. Again, sometimes there's farms at the end, so they can't really leave much behind for you. But in this situation, we'll go in and we will just take out what is left. And I would not suggest using your multipliers. And there we go. So now I have gotten a little bit of extra XP, and I didn't have to really do anything. So this is a very quick and easy, efficient way to, get your XP built up on your dragon as well. And if you'll notice, it got me nearly what my max XP is. So definitely jump in with those high level players on your team. There's a reason that they invite you in after all. Quick reminder, it isn't by the level, but by the amount of defense power they have. So make sure you always check the XP before you attack. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back into Durga really quickly, and we'll go ahead and train him up with what we have, train. And we can actually, I will use a little bit of XP potion because it's right on the money there. And now I only have to take him up a few more levels before he is considered breedable. Now, once he's breedable, any XP that you get on him, you should save back for the future feeding event. If you don't know what the feeding event is because you're that new, then make sure you check out the feeding event guide on my channel. But this is going to allow you to really score big points without having to do a lot of work in the event itself. Now, not all dragons need to go to breedable. If you get a dragon in the event, for example, he's only going to go up and evolve. He's not going to actually breed anything else because he is not a parent dragon. Now, for example, we'll go ahead and go over to Leos and look at him really quickly. Leos is an event dragon, and if I click train on him, you're going to see that he is unable to be trained up again because he needs some things done on my base. And where this dragon is at breedable, so anything I would get on him, I would save back for the feeding event. So let's kind of go over really quickly also what you can do to help another player on your team that's high level get some XP also. Here we go. I've hopped over into my larger base, and I want to take you into the bookmark called Andy K 123. Now this base is 980 million defense power. That means I don't have to get much on him at all in order to get my XP, my maximum XP. So if I bring someone in and I immediately swap, then this is going to give them enough rage to help me. So then that's when the secondary attacker would come in with something with Death Gaze, for example here with Ember, and they're going to be able to come in and simply Death Gaze. Now, with practice, you can actually get 5 of these towers. However, at my level as a 172, I only need a total of 3. Now, it doesn't matter what your level is. If you get only 1, you will not get what you need. Now, if you find yourself in a situation where the player only got one dragon, or I'm sorry, one of the towers, and your dragon needs at least 2, which like I said, most of your dragons need at least 2, and you're on a multiplier, one of the things you can do if that gets messed up, for example here, my backer is not joining. Like, they're here, but there's an issue. You can, salvage that 5 times multiplier, or that 4 times or 3 times. All you have to do is simply click the home button and go out of the game. When you go back in, you're going to find that your dragon is still there. And yes, it will need to be healed, but its multiplier will be fully intact. So that's how you deal with that particular situation. Now, once every few days, I would go through and I would select a dragon deep in your roster so that you can build XP on those younger dragons. Now that you get higher amounts of XP, they're going to be easy to build up on for the feeding event. So like this week, which I had some out for the current quest, but if I go back and I find a young dragon that still needs XP build up, for example, here, Hantu. He's a level 14 and he's such an old dragon for me that if I do a couple XP runs on him every day, then after about a week, he's going to have quite a bit of XP saved up for the feeding event. Hopefully this video helped any of those new players out there understand what they need to know about XP. However, if you have any questions that I did not cover today, be sure to put that in the comments section below. And don't forget to share this with your new players on your team. Alright, if you liked my video, be sure to leave me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell for notifications. Happy hunting!